22 people have gone on trial in France on charges of murder and other serious crimes, centered on members of a Masonic lodge accused of running hit squads. Those in the dock include 4 military personnel from France's Foreign Intelligence Service, 2 police officers, a retired domestic intelligence officer, a security guard and 2 business executives. One victim, who survived 2 assassination attempts, explains the consequences of the attacks.
Trouble du stress post-traumatique dont je n'arrive pas à sortir en fait depuis 6 ans, ça revient par épisode. Cancer et puis exclusion de ma profession également. Voilà, ça fait quand même beaucoup de choses.
Most of the accused, aged between 30 and 73, have no previous criminal records. They are accused of murder, attempted murders, aggravated assault and criminal conspiracy, all on behalf of a mafia network inside the former Athener Masonic Lodge in a Paris suburb.
Shalom, Kahalalim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Waharachak Wadash, double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of GMS Ruwal who I learned this truth from, and salutations and blessings to you elect, starting with 144,000. So as you've seen, this is from Euro News, and this is real news. You didn't hear about this, This is from people.com, how a botched contract killing exposed Freemason Mafia network inside French secret society as murder trial begins for 22 accused, April 1st. And hey, this is beautiful. The skirt is being lifted. All right, the shameful spewing is ensuing, okay? And everything's being exposed. And we told you people, these Masons are not just charity organizations and, these nice guys. And, the first 3 degrees are the majority of lodges, little lodges you see. But as you keep going up, the ladder, it gets more serious. And as you've seen in the video on the news, it was police officers, business associates, people in the military, right? And we always tell you about these police. First of all, a lot of them are, the higher ups, right? Your certain staff sergeants, obviously your captains, your chiefs, chief of police, right? When you go into detectives, a lot of them are Masons, right? And these things work in different ways. Isa has his network on how things work and all that shit. And this is why we say, look, when you got images like this about being blindfolded, taking a secret oath, okay, there's another one, right, like this. She's doing this sign, right, which is shh, right, which is an oath of secrecy, right? May you die, if you expose any of these secrets. And they said the accused range from what? I believe, what did they say? Late 20s or 30s, early 30s to 70s. And they said they have no prior records. Why the fuck would they? This is the time of you're exposing, right? This is the time of your exposing, man. Okay? So these guys weren't arrested before because they were hooked up. You got niggas, of course. But this is just going into you devils being exposed, man. Point blank, period. Right? This is Psalm 17:8. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. Right? NLT verse 9 says, protect me from the wicked people who attack me, from murderous enemies who surround me. And these secret societies know about the Israelites, of course. They've sent curses on us. They have agents, spies, okay? And they wish they could make a move, but guess why don't they? Because they move by the Spirit, right? They're in the occult world, right? They're in the occult world. Now, real quick, right? When you go into, just type in police masonry, right? The relationship on Google, the relationship between police and Freemasonry involves historically high membership numbers among officers, sparking concerns over conflict of interest, secrecy, and potential corruption, particularly within the Metropolitan Police UK, right? But this is worldwide, right? It says recent developments include mandatory disclosure policies for officers in London and a 2026 criminal trial, which we just read, in France involving a Masonic lodge. And that's beautiful. April 1st, right on the Passover, Pasach. Kal halal Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Everything's being, you would never see this kind of news ever, man. We're in the fucking end times, bro. When you see this type of shit, we're in the end times. A Freemasonic mafia that has hitmen. You guys wait till you find out about the Jesuits, man. About all this different stuff. You know. Let me type in Toronto. That's why we send curses upon the Toronto police, man. All right, Yahweh Shem Shai Shalak Rayam. All right, this is a Masonic badge, emblem. Okay, and they have the wings of Ra, right, which represents the sun god on top. Right, that's not a Chrysler symbol. Okay, at the middle, at the top there. Right here. This is a symbol of the sun god, which is a hunter, representing yang or masculine. Then you have the caduceus down here, which is a serpent, the serpent pole. So this is all a Masonic ass. In Toronto, we have the MTV at the Masonic temple, right? MTV, right? But anyway, I just seen this, so I just want to bring that out. This is, again, going into the shameful spewing, man. This place is being exposed on a full level. And on the comments on that video from TikTok, people were saying this is not covered in the US. And why would it be? Right? Habakkuk 2:16, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. Right? Your shame, your nakedness, all the things that you have done. Right? When you're exposed, you're shameful. You can put on the nice clothes and the fancy garments and all that, right? But now you're exposed. You're out in the open. People are seeing what's really going on. Now we're not crazy, man. We're telling you about these Masons and all this shit, and the Jesuits and the Rosicrucians and these different networks. These people are deadly, man. They're dead serious. They're involved in a lot of psyops, a lot of covert operations, a lot of things that people think just happen randomly. They are involved in that. And like I said, Kal halal Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, because April 1st, Passover, Pasach, we're in the time of judgment. The skirt is being lifted. Okay? It says, the cup of the Lord Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Let me look up this word shameful real quick. Let's see if it says anything, right? Kwayak lawan. I believe so. Kwayak or kwayak kwal one, which means disgrace or shame. Intense disgrace, intense dishonor, right? Kwayak kwal one, right? Shame, disgrace, dishonor, ignominy. Ignominy. Let me look up this word. I don't know what this means. Let's look up this word, ignominy. All right. It refers to deep public shame or disgrace or humiliation, right? You're in the news, you're public. What happened with Epstein, man? Nobody gives a shit. That's old news. All right, you people are about to curse out the Israelites. You're about to have the Israelites in the tip of your tongue as the enemy. All right. All right, so shameful spewing. In the NLT, it says, but soon it will be your turn to be disgraced. Because you have disgraced the nations. You have disgraced first and foremost the Israelites. Okay? Hiding our identity, taking our identity. Beating us out of our identity. Mentally enslaving us. Physically, of course. Right? You have sent, all kinds of captains of different industries to mess up the Israelites, man. Entertainment, politics, economics, right? And then the other nations got their turn too. They got their licks, But now it's your turn to the whole world's seeing, hey, you guys ain't righteous. You guys are wicked as hell, man. You guys are fucking demons. right? Come, drink, and be exposed. Right? Versions read and stagger, right? Drink from the cup because now you're drunk. When you're drunk, you're in a state of, exposement. Most likely, you're acting a fool, right? It says, drink from the cup of the Lord Yahweh's judgment, and all your glory will be turned to shame. Damn. So, hey, this place is done. Okay, like Apostle Dahar said years ago, stick a fork in her, she's done. Okay, so when you have a trial of Masons, 22 individuals who officials allege carried or ordered or carried out crimes for a group of Freemasons living in a suburb of France. This is not fake news. I first thought it was fake news, and then I had to go see the articles. Right? It said the group is accused of mafia-like dealings, ordering hit squads to vanquish rivals and allegedly killing one individual. Right? That's what they share. Again, when they post this, they got to be careful too. But again, it's showing you the times we're in. Right? This was all exposed when two individuals allegedly contracted to carry out a murder were arrested outside their target's home. The men at the center of the scandal are all members of the Athanor Freemasons, a former sect of the Grand Lodge de l'Alliance. All right, that was closed in 2021 after these crimes came to light. 2021, we're in 2026. So that's what I'm saying. They can't move so quick because all their shit starts to crumble, right? Like that show House of Cards. All this shit starts to crumble because as the people arrested are who? Police, business associates, people in the military, Navy men, all kinds of different branches. These are high up people, man. Like I said, captains of industries, man. You know, it says Freemasonry is considered to be da da da. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, Kahala Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Shalom to the elect, Abad Babal.